Today's episode is focused on a very interesting topic, which is twin flame and soulmate. What is the difference between them? So we're gonna discuss that one. Starting reading some extract from the book of Elizabeth Prophet. Let me open the book that I have on my laptop. Um, just okay, much better with the glasses. Which is here, Soulmates and Twin Flame. So I would say let's begin from the very first chapter, and then we're gonna discuss this topic. And I would love to listen your feelings, your opinion about it, um, and then we can take it from there. So let's see, chapter 1. Understanding the spiritual concept of soulmates and twin flame. In Elizabeth Clare Prophet's Soulmate and Twin Flame, the author delved deeply into an intricate web of spiritual connections that shapes human relationships, particularly focusing on the concept of soulmate and twin flames. At the heart of this exploration is the understanding of the spiritual dimensions that differentiate this connection from ordinary relationships. Soulmates are described as individuals who are profoundly connected on a soul level. These connections often span multiple lifetimes, with each encounter facilitating mutual growth and healing. Twin flames, on the other hand, are portrayed as the two halves of the same soul, separated and sent into a different physical incarnation. The twin flame connection is noted for its intense, transformative quality, often bringing about significant spiritual awakening and evolution. Quite interesting already, right? So, this is just the introduction to briefly understand those two concepts, which normally, if you are interested to, and like, you are wondering, how do I know if my husband, my wife, my partner, he or she in my life is my soulmate or my twin flame? Well, there are points in astrology that will help you to understand if this person has a soul contract with you um, from previous life, usually, and if it's this person is certainly a twin flame or a soulmate, and possibly even how many lifetimes. So let's see what else. Some other points in it that could be very interesting to read. So back to the soulmate, she says, soulmates are described as individuals who are profoundly connected on a soul level. These connections often span multiple lifetimes, with each encounter facilitating a mutual growth and healing. Just read that one, I guess. So, okay. So one question obviously comes, why spontaneously, which is, how do I know that the person I met is actually my soulmate? When two soulmates encounter each other, Elizabeth Clare Prophet says, there is an immediate sense of recognition and familiarity, often described as feeling like coming home. This connection transcends the typical bounds of ordinary relationships, striking at a much deeper soul level resonance, which is true. You might felt this one at the beginning, because usually you engage in a relationship because either because you feel lonely, and then the first person you meet you believe could be your soulmate just because cover this emptiness that you feel inside, or because for real, in that moment, you feel that familiarity with that person, or sometimes it could be just because you feel extremely physically and sexually attracted by that person, and that would trigger the emotion or the understanding sometimes of this familiarity. Not saying this right or wrong. We have a different ways of approaching and understand, to have like the first impact and the first attraction with another person. And sometimes it takes time because it comes for behavior, um, that attraction click in, or knowing that a person feeling attracted but what they're saying, or um, their kindness, for instance. So there are different ways why we feel attract to somebody else. And none of those actually tell us if the person is a soulmate or a twin flame. So there are some things that make you understand, usually it's familiarity, which is not, oh, we like the same color or we listen to the same music. Oh, that's so cute, which it is, but that's not enough to say that that is a soulmate. Usually, it's something more profound. It's really a sense of familiarity, like knowing the person for a very longer time than the real time you met, and is also thinking at the same time very same things or finish each other's sentences. This is quite common when you meet a soulmate, which doesn't mean necessarily they will be the partner of your entire life. That's depending on other factors as well, but we're going to speak about it later on. Let's keep going with the book. Um, let me. She says, like crucial roles in preparation process, common signs of synchronicities can often signal the impending meeting of a soulmate. These signs might manifest as recurring symbols, dreams, or even number patterns that appear constantly in one's daily life. For instance, constantly seeing the same numbers on clocks, license plates, or receipts that can be a form of divine communication indicating that a soulmate connection is near. Additionally, there may be a magnetic pull or inexplicable energy that draws one person towards another. These synchronicities are all serves as spiritual markers guiding individuals to their destined meeting. But you might also encounter, I would say, really numbers repeating in your life, even if the soulmate is not near you, because maybe the message you need to receive about your awakening is talking about something else. So, not necessarily this type of synchronicity will lead to recognize a soulmate, depending what happening in that moment of your life, really. Now, let's see what she says about the twin flame connection. The twin flame connection is often described as the most profound and transformative partnership one can experience. Unlike soulmates, who are our harmonious companion, twin flames are our literal other halves, true souls originating from the same source. The characteristics of a twin flames are distinct in their intensity and depth. They mirror each other in a ways that reveal both their highest potentials and the deepest wounds. This mirroring effect is not always comfortable, as it brings up unresolved issues and dormant scars, pushing both individuals towards higher spiritual growth and self realization. The journey of twin flames encompasses several stages, each filled with its own set of challenges and lessons. Initially, there is a recognition stage, a powerful moment when both individuals acknowledge an extraordinary connection beyond the physical realm. This recognition often feels like meeting oneself in another body, and it marks by an overwhelming sensation of familiarity and profound love. Following the initial bliss and connection, the twin flames can enter the crisis stage, where the intensity of the relationship triggers insecurities, fears, and emotional turbulence. This period can be characterized by push and pull dynamics, misunderstandings, and even periods of separation. The crisis stage serves as a catalyst for both individuals to confront and heal the deepest issues, offering an opportunity to spiritual purification and personal growth. Now, saying that, I will adjust something, as this also twin flame can trigger part of our spiritual growth. So usually also soulmate can, um, beyond the compatibility you have with the person, can have some aspects that trigger our karmic debts. So depending on your soul contract, some flow literally like sand into the water, molding and flowing in beautiful harmony. Some other soulmate do not. They might find themselves like rock, and those rocks can create frictions. And unless they decide to put aside their own ego aspects and their own shadow aspects of the karmic path, molding themselves and transforming themselves both at the same time into sand, that harmony and that flow will never happen. It happened for the time being, and it might come to an end, even if it's a soulmate. So somehow also soulmate, if it's part of the soul contract to growth and overcome some karmic pattern repetition, might trigger them to help to growth. But there is a component of willingness that needs to come from both sides to make it happen. Rather than twin flame like we just read, this catalytic relationship is very extreme, from, let's say, from heaven to hell in an intermittent time until this growth happen, because literally the two souls mirroring each other in their shadow. And sometimes this separation between them is happening because it's too painful to go again together, or maybe because they're not aligned the same time, and maybe one of the two could be ready and the other one not. It brings like, it's not just about love from each other, but it's also like about spiritual, being spiritually ready to do so, accept and truly believe in this part of a spirituality that is connected to this both bonding relationships. If there is any belief behind it, it might not work.